where gun culture meets the gospel. This is Armed Lutheran Radio.
Welcome to Armed Lutheran Radio, a show about guns, hunting, competitive shooting, the natural right of self-defense, and what God's Word says about the issues surrounding gun rights and gun ownership. I'm your host, Lloyd Bailey, the Armed Lutheran. This is episode number 355, and for those of you who are new to the show, welcome aboard. We are having our monthly online hangout with members of the Reformation Gun Club for March of 2023, and what that means is, if you have not heard the show before, Armed Lutheran Radio is listener funded. That means we rely on our members. Their monthly and annual contributions help keep the show going. And one of the perks of being a member is you get invited to these awesome hangouts once a month. If you would like to join them, if you'd like to find out more, visit armedlutheran.us/gun club for all the details. All right, let's start. Wow, we got a bunch in here. If you didn't hear all the noise earlier, we're going to start bringing them in. Looks like we have David and Scott and Dan and Justin and Will I Am. There we go. Hey, guys. How is everyone?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Right. So let's go around the horn. How is everybody tonight? Cheers before we get started.
I don't hear anything.
You can't hear me? Oh, come on.
I hear you just fine.
Okay.
I hear you.
Oh, good.
I'm good.
Oh, it's my Bluetooth.
It's your Bluetooth. Okay. Donnie's here too. All right. So we'll bring Donnie in. Well, Will I Am is working out the Bluetooth issues. My initial reaction was, oh no, because when I first fired things up and started testing, I couldn't hear anything either. So I had to reboot my computer real quick. So cheers, everyone. So the camera can see. David, how are you? What have you been up to since last we were together?
Just a little bit of music. Kicked off the concert season last week. Got another one coming up this week. Block match coming up next weekend.
I wish Glock would come to my neck of the woods.
You can usually get them there if you know a place.
That's actually hosting, and I don't want to do that.
I have not shot a Glock match in forever. Stuart with the awesome triptych behind him. That's really cool. All right. Scott, what have you been up to? Well, actually, I've seen the pictures, so you've been really busy trying to get your new place ready. It's looking good.
Yeah, it's been a lot of carpentry.
I noticed.
But yeah, so all the workbenches are done. I got the walls done. There are the two walls that I was going to cover with the actually use cedar fence pickets. Just cut the dog ears off. And then finished up the display case today. My wife stained it. And tomorrow the rifle rack will be done. And I'll be ready for the grand opening on Wednesday.
Excellent. Excellent. Tell everybody, let's see. So this will be out on Sunday. So tell everybody where you are. And so for those who have not seen the previous episodes, maybe want to stop by and check out the store on Wednesday, give everybody a little plug.
Yeah, so it's Van Dorsten Custom Firearms. I'm a professional gunsmith. I've been gunsmithing for over 17 years. I'm in Sheridan, Wyoming, and the new shop is at 99 West 16th Street here in Sheridan.
Excellent. I would definitely stop by if I were in the neighborhood.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Dan, how in the world are you, sir?
Yeah, doing pretty good, mostly good.
Mostly good.
Mostly good. Yeah, we had a little issue here. Couple two about 3 weeks ago now. Lost another friend.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I mean, it was, it's just one of those things. It was a life thing.
So it was expected, not a surprise.
Sort of, yeah. It was, he was kind of young in my opinion. He left a little money on the table, but it was his health,
Gotcha.
Here at the range, one of my friends come in, acquaintances really. I think it's called the Moscato brand. It's the guys that took over the STI.
Staccato.
There we go.
Good Texas brand.
Damn nice, really nice. $4,400. That's a little much for my blood, but
that's over there in Justin's neighborhood.
Yeah, I would say so. Man, really nice. He let me run. I put some of my hand loads through it. Man, it'll shoot just as hard as you can hold it. It'll just stack them one right on top of the other. And, got that, it's all compensated and everything. And, nice, luxurious push, not a lot of recoil and stuff. Good open class gun.
Mm-hmm. I got a lot of friends who started out with STIs and then graduated to either Nighthawks or Wilsons.
Yeah. Well, I started, the whole run and gun stuff. I started off with a rather modest 1911 and then acquired an M&P and then acquired a better M&P. And
William's over there doing surgery. I'm trying to figure out what.
Yeah.
I actually spent much of the last week working remotely, which has been nice since I haven't done that since last year. But all my cords are now in my Dell backpack, and I'm looking for my power cord for my phone, and somehow I think that ended up in a different bag. So sorry.
I was going to say that's a lot of surgery to get Bluetooth to work.
Yeah, I know.
No, I got that. I changed the setting. It was fine, but yeah, I just was looking for something that just isn't there. So sorry about the distraction.
No worries.
I got to go into work tomorrow and let the data guys in. This time it's finishing up a bank that another guy started and all that, server and Spectrum.
So are you there for the building from ground up or just finishing out parts of it? What is your job responsibility in a project like that?
Well, I have until the last 3-4 years here been a ground up guy and commercial and industrial projects. Okay.
Right.
These guys I'm working for now come and found me and they do just pretty much upfits now. About 75% of what I do is hospital work now.
Right.
And that's interesting. It's like you get to see who's behind the curtain in the healthcare industry.
Gotcha.
And just to put everybody at ease, it's mostly positive. Okay.
I was going to say, is it the Chinese?
Well, now all of the supplies and the drugs come from China. That's a little concerning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why should we not be able to get medicines and supplies that for decades and decades we've always been able to have? I mean,
Chinese can make it cheaper. So,
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
There is a new alternative to that. What is the penicillin type drug? Anyway, now being manufactured in Tennessee in the U.S. And in a plant that was going under, and our company bought that out and is restocking the U.S. supply. Amoxicillin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the old standard,
Yeah, but it was all offshore. Without that, it is all offshore. But our company purchased that and is bringing that plant back to top status.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I like the sound of that. I'm guessing that they shouldn't have any problem, being in, showing a profit.
One would think. All right,
well, even if not, it's the right thing to do.
It is. Yeah. Get as much away from China as possible. Justin, what's been going on with you, sir? Now we can't hear you. I'm trying to see if the light on his headset is red or not. I can't hear him.
Justin, I don't hear a thing. No. Presumably you can hear us because it looks like you're responding in the appropriate time, but we can't hear you at all.
Nope. Still not working. Darn technology. All right. Well, he figures that out. We'll move to Will I Am now that he's got his Bluetooth and his surgery done.
Justin, look down to the lower left of your screen and you might see a mute button.
I heard something.
There it is.
I heard something.
Justin, you there?
Hey. Nope.
No, it's somebody else.
It's somebody else I was hearing, I guess. Well, darn.
No, well, in any event, so last weekend, this was the first time we'd really traveled separately for a while, but my kiddos had their spring break, which I still prefer to call Easter vacation, even if it's not over Easter time. But my theory is we only have a vacation this time of year because Jesus rose from the dead, so I'll still call it Easter vacation.
Yep.
But my old pastor from the early 2000s, when I lived in the Central Valley of California, he died about a year and a half ago, and his widow moved from Tennessee down near her kids in Florida, and we got to go down. And the last time we had been with them at all was when my now 10-year-old daughter was 6 months old, maybe 9 months old. So it's been a few years. And we got to go spend some time down. She's on the first of the Florida Keys, Key Largo. Oh. And so they flew down Thursday. I flew down Friday night. I flew back Wednesday. They flew back Thursday. And so we've been there. And I think, sorry, we've picked up some colds, etc.
Oh dear.
So
were you down there during all the spring break craziness?
Evidently, spring break was happening for a lot of people. It was real calm where we were. So we were mostly just hanging out at the house. They have a private beach, a 5-minute walk away.
Nice.
So it really was a relaxing time. I got to work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, getting chewed up by the mosquitoes because where we were in the cottage in the back house, I couldn't get a decent Wi-Fi signal, so I set up outside, which was kind of nice.
When you
But
weren't
I
being
got
eaten alive.
I got chewed up. Yeah, I ended up being very fully dressed, and I even had something over my head just to avoid it, and I still got chewed up.
Oh gosh.
So we're back home in Arkansas. Things are good. And the job I started at the beginning of January, they didn't have an accountant in this role steady since late October. And now 3 months in, I'm almost caught up. So yeah, it's been a very uphill battle, but things are looking up. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I just hope it's not a train coming at me.
It probably is.
Time will tell.
I'm a glass half empty guy.
I'm
Curtis, how about you?
My glass is halfway to my next glass.
Exactly. There you go. Curtis, what have you been up to since we were together last?
A couple of things. I got my AR-10 build done. I think I'm ready to put optics on it, and that'll be a done deal. And
Nice.
The biggest one is I got my wife back from vacation. She'd been over in the Philippines for 4 months.
Right.
So picked her up last week. So life is good.
Very nice. How was her trip?
Good. She really enjoyed it. She hadn't seen, she's got 2 boys over there, and she hadn't seen them since COVID hit. So it's been about 3 years since she had been over there and seen them. So yeah, it was a good vacation for her.
Excellent.
Missed winter.
So is that the secret to a long marriage, is vacationing separately?
Well, I didn't take the jab, so I couldn't go because Philippines had, restrictions on being fully vaxxed and all that crap. So she had to go by herself.
I refused. Big ol' high five to you.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad she's home safe, and I'm glad she had a good time.
Yep, me too.
Donnie, how are you? You've got company with you.
Well, this is Seminarian Peter.
Oh, hey, Peter.
He's on his reading week, and we went to Montana on the train. Got back this morning.
Excellent.
I've had a bad cold. I passed out at work, bummed up my knee, and I got. Well, it's good that we're having it this weekend instead of next weekend, because I've got surgery scheduled and I couldn't have this trap line rye that we're drinking tonight. So
nice.
We about 3 feet of snow melt, we'll be able to get back to the range.
3 feet of snow.
Yeah, there's literally 3 feet of snow in my front yard still.
Oh my gosh. Every time I hear those stories, you and Scott and Pastor Bennett, I thank the Lord I'm in Texas.
I don't
We're supposed to get more snow tonight.
Fifth snowiest winter in the Twin Cities history.
Wow.
We're supposed to get more snow tonight.
No, thank you. I'll take my 80 degrees right now. Thank you very much.
That's why we don't plant tomatoes in the springtime in Wyoming.
They won't work.
They won't live.
They will not. And for everybody who's wondering, Peter is also a gun club member, and not just poking his head in behind Dad there. He is actually a member of the gun club. Thank you for your support. How's seminary going?
Going good. It's quite busy right now. I'm in the middle of writing my first sermon for Hom, so that's homiletics. So that's just interesting to see that process for the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. Are you on break right now?
Yeah. So I left St. Louis a week ago, and I'll be heading back tomorrow morning.
Gotcha. Okay. Classes
And I
resume
got
on Monday.
something from the Armed Lutheran why I was gone.
Did you? Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I apologize for the delay in that. I don't know exactly what happened, but several of those went somewhere that wasn't to you. So I had to scramble around and reorder a few of those. So glad it got to you.
Yep, glad to have it.
And Stuart, with your awesome triptych in the background, how are you? You haven't been with us in a couple of get-togethers. How you been?
Fine. I finally got moved. I left the People's Republic of Washington for sunny, warm Pensacola, Florida.
Very nice.
And
congratulations on that.
I've been trying to get things together. A lot of work. Not getting any younger, as we all know. Moving is not fun.
No. I was just about to say it. We moved 1,000 miles. I can't imagine moving all the way across the country like that. Well, diagonally across the country.
And I had help. That was good.
Did you let someone else do all the work?
No, I had friends from a former parish in Nebraska came out, and his son drove with me from Tacoma to Grand Island, and his dad got the part of the trip. Grand Island to Pensacola. No snow. That was good.
Very good. Awesome.
Got to Montana a few times.
Excellent. So how's the new place?
A lot bigger, and it's not as good a shape as I thought it was. I've been spending way too much money.
Oh no.
Got to get it ready for hurricane season.
Yes.
Generator and new windows that are storm resistant. They're not cheap, I'll tell you that.
No, and you're getting to experience all new homeowner headaches that you didn't have to worry about in Washington.
But I went from 1,000 square feet to 2,000 square feet. You're supposed to downsize when you're my age,
right?
But it's still 3 bedrooms.
1,000 square feet. That was our first home, was like 1,100 square feet. Now I wonder how in the world we did that. And well, now I'm thinking that would actually be kind of nice now that we're half empty nesters. But anyway.
But I'm not buying more little things.
Oh.
No more. I used to collect shot glasses and stuff like that. Nah, not gonna buy anything like that after dealing with all the crap my mom had.
Oh, yeah.
And then my own crap that I threw away back in Washington because one pod couldn't take it all. And don't need a bunch of junk.
You about said the word I was thinking. George Carlin is actually came to mind when you said that, because wasn't it George Carlin who said a house is, excuse my language here, but a house is just a place to keep all your shit. And so when you run out of space, you get a bigger house and then when you get a bigger house, you get more shit. So it's the way it works.
It's awful. I need to set a 30-yard dumpster out in the driveway and just fill it up
every spring.
Every spring, man.
The trick is actually to move more often, because after you move several times, you start to figure out that you don't want to keep all that stuff.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You condition yourself and being like,
yep.
Oh, well, I had to move.
Like, I might have to move again. I don't want to keep this.
I'm not buying that.
Okay, we've had this conversation here in my household very recently. We've only moved, we've moved a few times already, but we're settled here at least for the next decade or so while the kids grow up, and this is where we intend to be until they graduate, and then we'll probably try to just rent this place out, buy an RV, and either travel the States or say screw it, we're leaving the country for a couple of years, just because that's how we roll. But we're also really looking at preparedness, and I've got some boxes of long-term food storage, and if we lose power for 3 or 4 weeks, we're good, we're okay right now. But if it's something more serious, and long story short,
forbid it's worse than 3 to 4 weeks. Good Lord.
Have you guys read some of the post-apocalyptic fun novels out, like William Forstchen's 1 Second After? That has to do with an EMP.
Yeah, I've read that one.
Really makes you think. We happened to bump into someone. We met someone at my my pastor's wife's church this weekend, who they were moving from Key Largo further north to the Destin area, Fort Walton, if you're familiar with Florida at all.
Right.
And we just hit it off. My wife and the wife were talking, and just really felt like we knew her for all these years. He was out of town, already had moved up there because he was shifting roles with the Navy and was already up getting things taken care of up there while she took care of the house down here. But she started talking to my wife about all the things that we're talking about. Is it time to start getting chickens and start, kind of living less nomadic and actually having things that we have to do all the time aside from school and work? Do we need to start farming at all? Like actually growing some of our food, at least having that knowledge of how to do that. Have chickens. We don't have enough land for goats or anything.
A
like
dozen
that,
eggs is $5 and $5 in
I know.
Charlotte.
I know. So we start talking, and
self-made millionaire right there.
And she was like, "Oh, and are you familiar with the Survival Podcast?" I was like, "Jack Spirko?" She's like, "Oh, how'd you know him?" I'm like, "I've been listening to him for years. Oh my gosh, he's the one who introduced me to hydroponics." And so all of a sudden we're just having these really awesome conversations. She carries off body, but we had some conversations about that. And my wife's sitting there like, "Whoa!" And so finally, someone, not me, is harping on all the things that I've been trying to convince my wife of all this time. Like, we need to have food storage. We currently don't have a way to.
Maybe Will's not crazy.
Man, weren't we just talking about all the stuff in your house?
But all that to say, we're sort of trying to figure out how to have better preparations, but without having everything so entrenched, like Scott was saying. When we left the country 5 years ago, we got rid of a bunch of stuff. Then we had some yard sales and got rid of more stuff. And then we stored the stuff that we thought we really needed. And then 6 months into our year-long trip, we're like, hey, we want to do this more. So we got rid of even more stuff remotely. Like our realtor came over and on FaceTime was like, you want to keep this? No, get rid of that. You want to keep this? Yes, keep that. And like pared down what we thought was already the essentials into super duper essentials and then put that into a storage. And we've been kind of building stuff back. Like I still don't have some tools and things like that we'd gotten rid of. But every time that we moved, we got rid of a ton of stuff. We still regularly travel. And so when we're gone during the hottest, most miserable parts of the month here in Arkansas, we rent our house out on Airbnb. And we call Bentonville Eventonville because there's stuff every single weekend that happens. And we bought near downtown so that we can Airbnb the house out. But that forces us to really clean out our kitchen, clean out our living spaces, and get rid of all the superfluous stuff we don't need. But at that same token, we're still thinking, what if something bad happens? And this is where we need to bug out to. And so we're trying to find a way to have stuff that doesn't tie us here, but that allows us to be prepared for the future if something should go very sideways.
Right.
And I was so glad to have met, I didn't meet her, my wife met her, but someone who got her thinking, got my wife thinking about how do we be prepared? How do we not lose all the technology that previous generations knew that we simply take for granted and have utterly forgotten.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was an exciting moment for me. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. But at the same time, you don't want to have all kinds of junk that just clutters your house. So to your point, every year we go somewhere that forces us to get rid of all kinds of stuff so we can rent the house out of place.
That's one way to motivate yourself to get rid of crap, because if you ever decide you want to pick up and move, you've got all that stuff to consider. You've got all that stuff to pack up. Makes it less. I mean, we've thought about the same sort of thing. Like, this house is a little bigger than we need now, and in 5 years it's going to be even worse. So because my daughter will be, well, she's not moving out of the house till she's married. So, but the house is bigger than we need. But at the same time, every time I think about well, why don't we start looking and making plans to find another place? I keep thinking about how much crap I would have to load up and pack just to get out of here. But
I tell you, our last
your idea about Airbnb, it makes me think, well, okay, there's a motivation. We can make money if I can pack up my crap and get it out of here. And because you don't want the Airbnb, the renters to see all your crap, so, right? So there's that kind of embarrassment motivation.
Well, we have a 4-bedroom with a garage, and the first time we rented it, we had just moved in, coming off of very scaled down living, and we rented the whole house minus my kid's bedroom, which we just put our bicycles and things in. And then the next time we rented the house out, we're like, we don't want to move the bicycles and all this other stuff into their bedroom, so let's just not offer the garage. They have to use the front or back door, fine. And so now we have the ability to lock all of our personal stuff that we don't want accessible in their bedroom or the garage, and that works totally fine. And now we've gotten to the point where we've got 3 cabinets in the kitchen with locks on them, like the child safety stuff that you have to know how to open specially. And we just put a little sticker on it that says, owner's closet, don't open. And we haven't had a problem since. And so now I don't even have to move my liquor out of the kitchen into the kids' bedroom closet, which is weird. Like I had to go into the kids' room to get some liquor. Like that's kind of weird.
Seems like that would be like invitation to snoop. Like, wonder what's in there, and then you go about trying to figure out how to open it. You've been fortunate with your renters, obviously.
So
Scott,
far,
I cut you off. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Scott.
No, I was just saying that last time we did our big move from Colorado to Wyoming, I paid $300 to have somebody load the truck, and then drove the truck up here, and then paid somebody else $300 to unload the truck. And I tell you, that's the best $600 I've ever spent, because I just stood there pointing, yep, that goes in there. And all these young kids, they did all the heavy lifting. It's like, wow, that's the way to do it.
Last time that's
expensive now.
The thing that's was better that we did when we moved is my wife's company paid for somebody to unload it, and I got to do that thing.
Yeah, the company I was working for did have a reimbursement for most of that as well. But if I had to do it on my own, I'd still pay that money.
I did it myself coming to Texas. Now the company paid for the moving vehicles and all of that, a lot of the moving expense. But rather than because I moved to Texas 6 months before the rest of my family did, they were finishing up the semester of school, and my wife was winding up the semester at her school, and she couldn't just pack up and leave in the middle of the school year. So we rented a truck like an idiot. I packed up just enough to furnish a 1-bedroom apartment for 6 months, drove that to Texas, and then 6 months later flew back to North Carolina, loaded up a U-Haul truck and drove it to Texas. I will never do that again. Ever. That was so stupid.
The only thing that I had to pay for myself and is when I moved my lathe and mill up here. And we rented a skid steer with forks on it to load them.
Mm-hmm.
And I loaded them into the back of a U-Haul. I'm lucky I didn't lose that cab, that U-Haul, the box rather, because all I did was strap that thing. It's a 2,000-pound knee mill, and I strapped it to those bars on the side of there. It's like, well,
wooden slats on the side.
I'm like, well, either it'll be there when I get there or it won't.
Well, we're talking about younger days, though, when we were younger people, and you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm
talking 4 years ago.
Times don't change.
Yeah.
You may still qualify as younger people.
Yeah. Yes. See all this gray hair here? You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Yeah,
you're getting started. Yeah.
I miss
And-
the days of being able to move with a vehicle, not just one, like a pickup or a car.
Yeah.
Like just pile everything in the back. I've seen a few of
Yes.
those going down the road around here, but
Those days in the early 20s where I could get my entire life into 2 pickup truck loads.
right.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Lloyd, sometime the big house is kind of convenient. Okay. Like, man, right now I'm sitting in the guest room,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, one of the kids used to occupy this space. You know, right now we've put out a serious invite to, you know, a woman who's been our friend, my wife and I's friend since we were 18 years old. Okay. She's having a cancer treatment, and that generally takes about 3-4 weeks for her to shake it off. Hey, man, we'll pay for the flight from Michigan down here. You know what? Come down here, and you know, we'll take care of you for, you know,
Nice.
and you know, get out of that snowstorm stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
And you know, and you can see the eyes get the, oh yeah, Dan, that's we'll probably do that.
Well, hopefully she does. Yeah, the bigger house does have its advantages, and one of them is this. I mean, I have a spare bedroom that is now the studio, and I have another spare bedroom now that my son's moved out, which is now where all of the swag gets. Where is, I can't figure out the camera, where all the swag happens. But yeah, and all that would go away, and I would have to figure out where is that all going to go when we downsize. So that's all going to end up in the garage, I guess. I don't know what.
So your studio is a bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
I always thought it was in a basement somewhere.
we have
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or something else.
well,
No, the dark walls.
No, Lloyd,
Yes.
Lloyd, don't give away the secrets, okay? You know, I mean, you have an image. You know?
right.
It's the Bat Cave.
It's the back.
Yeah.
Are basements very prevalent in Texas?
No,
Yeah.
nobody has basements in Texas because
Didn't think that through.
Floods.
the soil
Yeah.
is terrible, and when it rains here, when it does rain, it rains like pouring piss out of a boot. It is just absolutely, it comes down in buckets, and your yard floods, and I can't imagine what somebody with a basement, what their house would be like. So, and the soil shifts a lot. Which is why Texas's roads are god awful compared to coming from the good roads state of North Carolina.
That's one thing that amazed me.
The roads are horrible here.
Yeah, that's one thing that amazed me coming from California out to Colorado is like, one thing in California, everybody's got a garage. It's like you can't get a house without a garage.
Right.
You get to Colorado, nobody's got a garage, but everybody's got a basement.
Interesting.
That depends on the neighborhood, though.
Yeah.
For the most part, I mean, it is. I mean,
It's
it
a
all depends on
cultural
the
thing.
all depends on the price point. But when we were looking at it, it was hard to find a house that had a garage. And to me, if I was buying a house, it had to have a garage.
Yeah.
And not for parking cars either. That's my workshop.
Right. Yeah, growing up in North Carolina, where I was in North Carolina, nobody had a garage. You had carports and or those kind of metal things that they put over their driveway.
Yeah.
Like a canopy.
Like a canopy. Yeah.
I never understood. That's like, where do you guys build things?
In the barn.
Well, I'm okay. If you a barn is just another word for a garage, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yeah.
It's a
Where I
It's
It's
a
stayed-
painted
size
red.
difference.
Well, here that you don't. I park my cars in the garage, but most people and leave my boat outside. But most people park their boat in the garage as well as their snowmobiles and stuff, and leave their cars outside.
Oh, it was the funniest thing when my wife and I first got together, and we talked about getting a house, and I said, yeah, and I definitely want to have a garage. She's like, oh, me too. I'd love parking my truck in the garage in the wintertime. And I looked at him like, what the heck are you talking about? You don't park your car in a garage?
My workshop
Out here,
you're talking
out,
about.
out here in Arkansas, we get hail anywhere from, itty bitty grain of sand size to bigger than an inch. So if you don't have a car or a garage to park your car in, then you do run the risk of getting some pretty serious damage from time to time.
That's what insurance is for.
The hail repair business in Texas is huge.
Yeah.
And
Is in Minnesota too. My roof's getting replaced.
yeah.
I'm waiting for a good hailstorm to get a new roof.
You can't go a day around here without hearing people working on roofs in the neighborhood. Because we get it. We had one. I bought a car because we needed a second vehicle. Once I gave my son my truck and he moved out, we needed a second vehicle. So I just got a beater that would, as a backup to get around town whenever we had a conflict and one of us had to go one place and one the other. And within 2 weeks, we had a hailstorm, just beat the crap out of my car. It's great. Because in Texas, we do have garages. Nobody uses them. Everybody parks on the street. It's weird. They do exactly what you're talking about, Scott. They get the house with the garage, and then they use the garage for the workshop, and they park the cars in the driveway or on the street.
Well, that's at least
Or use
respectable.
it for the mini storage.
Or use it for storage.
See, that's the part where I was going with if you're using it to make stuff that's good with your hands, that's kind of respectable in my mind. But I grew up with a garage so full of crap that it was just embarrassing. And I've seen that, and it's like, no. If I can't park my car, and I better be doing something very useful with it. If I'm not doing that, I failed.
Now, growing up as a kid in Durham, North Carolina, we parked in the garage when weather was bad, but for the most part, the garage was empty. It was kind of workshop-y space, and it was like, for a little kid, it was my basketball court. So I was painting, free throw lines and crap on the floor and playing ball in the garage. But now my dad has it absolutely completely packed to the rafters with just all kinds of crap.
Yeah, my uncle actually had the best of both worlds. He had a 2,000 square foot garage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he had that built on, right behind his house, and he was able to park vehicles in there and his workshop
and work. Wow.
My house is 1996 square foot.
Yeah.
So that garage is 4 square foot bigger than my whole house.
When they sold the house, the realtor listed it as a 12-car garage.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You want?
I can pull off an oil change in my garage, and that's about it.
Come here.
If you fall down in there, man, good luck. I mean, I don't know what kind of injuries you would suffer.
Yeah, my garage that I'm in my house right now, I don't know whose car it was meant for, but it's not any of mine.
Right. It's a very tight fit in my
Yes,
garage.
10
The workbenches
10 feet by 17 feet.
Yeah.
My Yukon won't fit in there.
No. We have an SUV that barely fits, and so one of the cars whenever there's a storm, it's like, all right, which one is going in the garage? The SUV, the little tiny one, is getting beat up because we just don't have the room. And when, I don't know whether you guys remember this, when my house was half destroyed in a water incident, right? The garage was where everything got parked. So the repair people just moved everything into the garage. You could not even walk through the garage. There was so much crap piled up out there. Everything was in the garage. And so I was determined, as soon as everything got fixed, that we were going to be able to use the garage again. And we can just barely use it for one vehicle. It says it's a 2-car garage, but once you get some
Oh.
storage and workbenches in there, there's not enough room for two.
That made me think I'm going to share a video in the chat. I did a tour of my new shop.
Ooh.
And let me do some clicks here. And
I've been trying to work that chat. I guess I'm technology, ridiculous or something.
I do see one of your posts though. You shared a link to Jackson Healthcare.
No,
That
Oh no, that was David to everyone. Okay.
that was David. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. I mean, I'm all on board with this. Bristol, Tennessee.
Let's see.
there you go. There's a link to my shop tour in the chat.
Been a while since we came to you with a video.
Oh, you don't have to play it now.
I was right. It starts automatically. Hey,
Yeah, it did for me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Cool. Save you guys a little bit of your own Googling.
That's really weird though, because I've got my Bluetooth on for the Zoom call, and I clicked on the link and it opened in a new tab, and it started playing on a completely separate speaker.
Huh.
My
Poor
computer's
gray
weird.
hair in that video.
Oh yeah, true story.
Yeah, so I give like a little tour of the old my garage, basically the old shop, how cramped it was, and then a walk through the new one.
Could share that and we could walk through it, and then we could make fun of your presentation.
Hey, let's do it.
Why not? Heck yeah. So here we go.
So while you're waiting for that to start,
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
That's due to a friend of mine.
do you use Just for Men?
No.
Yeah.
No,
She
I
definitely
let it
looked
go
more gray in that
gracefully
video.
silver.
But here on the Zoom, you don't look quite that silver.
My
Maybe-
hair's shorter than it is in that video.
Well, I'm talking about down here by the jowls. Maybe it's just the lighting.
It's the lighting. I have, how many lights do I have in there? I have like I think I have like 8 fluorescent lights, not fluorescent, but LED lights in there to light up that shop. And it's only like 17 feet long. So I mean, it's like I got a lot
It
of
looks
light.
like you can see your breath there.
And it's
like,
all
was gonna
it's
say,
cold in
Yeah,
there
that
too,
was
right?
that
Is
was
it time to
moving
play?
day.
Is
That
it
was
cold
moving
or is
day.
it smoking?
Yeah, that was moving day, so I didn't have the heater on out there because the door was going to be open. And it was like I think it was like 15 degrees that day. Nice warm Wyoming spring.
Right.
man,
So-
it is nice to have a lathe,
Is that the thing that just about destroyed the moving truck behind you?
No, that's actually not that heavy. That's probably about 800 pounds. It's the mill, and
Only
you'll get a video,
800.
you'll get a shot of that in a minute. So
Ooh.
yeah, I got boxes and crates everywhere. That was moving day, so everything was kind of ready to roll out. Sorry, I get long-winded.
No worries.
You need
You're talking
captions.
about guns, so that's good.
Yeah.
We have no problem with that.
You need to make captions.
Oh yeah.
I'm not that sophisticated yet. Oh, see, somebody figured it out.
Yeah. There we go. I got it. YouTube is pretty snazzy that way.
Chat GPT to the rescue.
Right. We'll
Boy, I
see.
tell you, the thing I'm loving the most is how much workbench space I have now. I went from having a 5-foot workbench to 3 8-foot workbenches and one 13-foot workbench as a spare.
Wow. As usual. All right.
Yeah, bench space is at a premium when you're doing this.
Justin.
Okay, so it is working. It wasn't highlighting me, so I wasn't sure.
Welcome.
He's here.
I only, did this for like 2 decades and still it's all, yeah. I only had to sell it. I didn't have to make sure it worked.
Right. Holy cow.
There you go. So that's the whole shop.
This is it?
That's it. That was the whole shop. So the camera right now was against the garage door. And
Good
so just
night.
over the corner there, the big gray thing, that's the mill. I had the head rotated upside down to keep it from being too top heavy when it's being moved.
Good grief.
Looks like you got a DRO on there.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, you're talking stuff that I don't understand, but it sounds impressive.
Digital readout instead of having to look at the little
okay, gotcha.
thousandth of an inch marks.
This
The
right here.
black box there. So what that does is when it's turned on, whenever I move the bed of the mill, it tells me exactly how far it's traveled in each direction. So it gets me like very repeatable precision cuts.
Gotcha. Okay. So, yeah, I can imagine you're in heaven right now with all the space that you've got.
Yeah, you can skip to the next cut where I'm at the new shop.
Let's see where that happens. Ooh.
Right there.
Ooh, another fade cut. Snow.
It won't be long until.
So that's the front of the building.
You got fancy signage?
I make not fancy yet. I'm making my own. I went and got some letters from one of the craft stores, and then using a piece of 4x4 plywood that I'm painting black with white letters. It's just going to say Gunsmith, and then Van Dorsten Custom Firearms.
Little. Oh my goodness! This
That's
room is
lovely.
bigger than the whole shop was.
Yes.
Got baseboard heat.
Actually, it's got central heat. It originally had baseboard, but central heat got put in, so I just keep the baseboards off.
Yeah, I see that up on the roof there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got
And
two
that
rooms.
room looks totally different now. I've covered those 2 walls with cedar planks. It was just cedar fence pickets, and it looks really nice.
Holy cow! How many square feet was the old one?
Let's see, 10 by 17.
Geez.
170.
Yeah, 170, and this one's just a little under 1,300.
Nice.
So this is where all my workbenches are now in this room. Yeah, that's the wall where I got a 13-foot bench.
There's more.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
And then this is where the machines are, my mill, my lathe, and all my woodworking machines. What's great is the company that owns the building, they're an electrical company. So when I told them I needed electrical in here, they said, sure, just tell me what you want. And they put all that in.
No problem. Very cool.
The weirdest thing though is, so this building actually used to be some kind of a car wash.
What?
So none of the floors are level.
Drain all the
Yeah,
okay.
as long as it drains out the
Yeah.
door, you know.
Yeah, especially this room. Now the other 3 rooms are fairly level, but not great. This is like a little hallway. I'm probably going to turn this into a secure room for firearm storage.
Man, you know, there's North Carolina racing teams that don't have as nice a place.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a good spot there.
Yeah. And then this room is just a spare right now.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So my plan is, like, during the slow season for gunsmithing, I plan to do some woodworking. I'm going to make a concealment furniture and stuff. And I'll display that in there. And I'm calling that side of the business Old Viking Woodworks.
Cool.
Nice. Okay. Well, keep me posted on that. I would love to see what you come up with. So this is going to be the showroom right here.
This is the showroom right here.
Okay. Is this where the display cases that you were working on? This is where they're going to be? Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
The concealment furniture idea, man. I was talking at a gun show in North Carolina. There was a crowd that brought in an extensive display, and I'm like, wow, man, I like what I'm seeing here. You know, I can see hiding a shotgun in this, you know, and they were telling me that it was kind of a, you know, they were doing other things, but they were all carpenters, and then all of a sudden it got away from them, and now they're designing and doing custom installs on this kind of thing, and it kind of got away from them, and now it's their main squeeze instead of what they were doing before.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, I'm doing that to kind of help get me out there in the community in areas where you normally wouldn't put gun stuff out. Like, so here in Sheridan during the summer, they have this thing called Third Thursdays, and the third Thursday of every month, they shut down Main Street and all kind of vendors come out and apply their wares.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
I can maybe do gunsmithing and maybe not, but if I do the woodworking, I can definitely do that. And I can also advertise my gunsmithing.
Right.
So it's kind of that, and like my YouTube channel, YouTube won't monetize my channel. So, you know, doing the YouTube with the woodworking stuff, I can monetize that.
Nice. Yeah, YouTube has gotten weird about their monetization stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to slowly start switching over to Rumble.
I noticed was it Forgotten Weapons, like depending on what he's doing with the firearms, he can't monetize it.
Yeah.
And so he'll do like a short video talking about how YouTube sucks and you should go watch this video on Utreon or Floatplane or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because he has no idea, apparently. We don't do anything that yet that they have cracked down on. Well, I take that back. I did say something about COVID that got a couple of episodes demonetized, or worse than demonetized. I've got a strike against the channel because of talking about COVID, but you just don't know what their policies are. They don't publish them, and it's how they enforce them is completely arbitrary, and you have no idea what's going to get knocked down and what won't. So that's frustrating.
Yeah, and they looked at mine. It's like, and mine is, they simply said, "Oh, it's because you actually show people how to work on guns." It's like, well, yeah, that's the same thing mechanics do on cars.
Yeah. So
cars kill more people than guns.
Yeah.
But yours are scary and black.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not
Scary,
soft and nice like the
scary,
one
scary
behind you.
guns. Now that we can hear Justin, let's catch up with Justin. What have you been up to?
Let's see if you still okay. You still can hear me.
Yeah.
Justin,
never know.
how are you?
Doing well. Doing well. It's been a busy month.
Really?
The 30th, with son is turning 5, so doing all the preparation and things for that, and of course then all of other birthday parties going to, and then yeah, it has been just kind of a back-to-back busy month.
Nice.
But I mean, it's I guess it keeps me from getting into trouble.
Hey, enjoy every minute of it, because before you know it, your kids are grown up and out of the house. So 5 is a fun age. Enjoy it.
Trust me.
Yeah. Mine's turning 13. My youngest is turning 13 next week and getting confirmed next weekend, or Palm Sunday.
That's good.
So yeah, it goes by really, really fast.
Yeah, well, some days it's the 5 going on 15. The whole yeah, it's like we were out at my parents last weekend, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's how you were." It's like, this is payback. It's like,
Yep. And you hear
My
words coming out of
children
your
are
mouth
in
that
their-
you swore you would never say.
Yeah.
Your parents' words.
My children are in their 30s now, and now it's like, just when did you start being worried about your dad? I mean, I'm fine, kids. No, Dad, you don't understand. Yeah.
I get it. Very cool. All right.
46 and 22.
Oh my goodness. Good
And I got to see my 46-year-old handicapped son and my almost 92-year-old mother when I was in Montana.
Excellent. Hey, before we wrap things up, the one thing that I completely forgot to do, Peter volunteered, or Donnie volunteered what you guys were drinking. Let's go around. What does everybody got tonight? David, what are you wetting the whistle with tonight?
Just water. Boring.
Oh, come on. I've got Russian water. How about you,
Tastes
Scott?
vaguely like potatoes.
I got one more month till I'm cleared to imbibe, so I'm hydrating tonight with water.
2 for water tonight. Okay. This is a first. I like it. All right. Dan, how about you?
Oh, I've been the water guy before.
You have?
I'm still working on a Christmas gift here, bullet rye. Okay. Now I'm still going to put Angel's Envy rye ahead of it, but
I was going to ask you, how does it compare to Angel's Envy? But
yeah, but Angel's Envy is ahead of it, but not by much. I mean, you can't. How can you go bad with a Kentucky whiskey?
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Justin, and you, sir, what's on the plate tonight? What do you got going on here?
Well, coming off the tail end of a head cold, so I'm hydrating as well.
Oh my goodness. 3 for water tonight. Dan is usually the water guy. It was almost 4. All right, William, what do you got tonight? I saw you.
Well, I've got water, that's for sure.
Oh, come on.
But I've got Bardstown, which is a quite lovely little place. Fairly new in the Louisville area. In fact, nothing that we could buy when we were there last year was all of their stuff. It was half their stuff, or some percentage, and then percentage that was bought from another place. But enjoying that as well. And then I've got one last beer I'm working through from Aldi called Independence Harbor Amber Ale, and I'm finishing up that one.
All right.
Quite tasty.
All right, Curtis, how about you? Are you on the road and not able to partake?
No, I'm home. I ferment my own kombucha, so I'm doing the kombucha tonight.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Donnie, remind us again what you've got going on.
It's Trapline Rye. Trapline Rye. It's from the Glacier Distillery in Coram, Montana.
Nice.
And
very good.
Unfortunately, we couldn't resupply because we were only there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the distillery's only open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That's not fair.
Yeah. See, what you do is you call ahead and tell them, hey, I'm only going to be here these 3 days and I need to resupply. I bet you they'll have somebody meet you there.
Good strategy.
We'll get some. We'll be back the first week, full week of July, and we'll get some. We'll get some there, but he doesn't get to go along that week. He's got to work.
Well, if you travel through Sheridan, stop on by.
We never get down that way. We're always way north of there.
Okay. I didn't know if you were driving or what.
So, Peter, how about you? What do you got? Are you partaking in Dad's hooch, or have you got your own? What's your favorite?
Well, I'm just taking in Dad's hooch right now.
That makes sense. Yeah. It's a good call.
I mean,
college kid, he's on a budget.
I'm back in summer and probably sipping on a Kugels, so yep.
All right, good idea. Stuart, how about you? What have you been christening the new place with?
Well, it's after dinner, so I'm having some cognac.
Ooh.
And water.
And water. Darn you healthy people.
Oh.
So Lloyd, I have a.
It's just late at night.
I have a trip coming up to the Bourbon Trail in June.
Ooh.
So we're shooting a Glock match up there in June.
Nice.
Anybody has suggestions? Let me know.
I did Evan Williams at Bourbon Trail. Is that in Louisville?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did Evan Williams and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, actually, so my brother lives in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, which is where Wild Turkey, Four Roses, a couple of the others are.
In June, my wife and I and a bunch of the youth from our church and one of our pastors is going to the Ark Encounter in Kentucky.
Oh, nice.
And the pastor and I have already decided we're at least going to find one distillery.
Pastor after my own heart.
Well, so that area of northern Kentucky is actually where my wife and I are from.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Very
and
good.
then I'm going to be at the convention, Missouri Synod Convention.
I'm
and
sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? I did the bright spot there is I did find that there are 3 distilleries within stone's throw of the convention.
That's not by accident, I'm sure.
So I'm planning on a nightly trips.
My introduction to Lutheranism was working as a sales guy for a printing company, and the guy who ran the press in the back was a Lutheran, and I was like, "What's that all about?" And he was, and he had, I don't remember exactly whether he'd gone out at lunch to the ABC store and picked up stuff for the weekend, and I was like, "Okay, wait a minute, I thought you were like I mean, aren't Lutherans kind of like Catholics? And he was like, hey, wherever you find 4 Lutherans, you'll always find a 5th. So
Yeah.
It's the same thing for Episcopalians.
I converted the next day.
Yeah. Y'all talking about going to convention. Man, I went one time to diocesan convention, and it's like, oh man, I'll never get this time back.
Well, to prepare for it, I listened to the entire 2019 convention just so I know what was going to go down.
Know what to expect.
And I can tell you, if we could keep these pastors from giving a sermon every time one of them stands up, we could probably cut that 6-day convention down to 3. I mean, if we could just do a sermon in the morning when we start and just get down to business, I bet we can get it down to 3 days.
Yeah, Baptists are the same way.
So as far as what to see in Kentucky on the Bourbon Trail, there were 2 things that we did that we really enjoyed. Aside from the Evan Williams tour, which was just a good time, we did the Bardstown Bourbon, which is actually what I'm drinking right now. So that one, they had I don't even know what they called it, but it was a drink mixing class, little tutorial. I don't even know what you'd call it, but it was like 90 minutes, maybe just an hour. And you mixed a handful of drinks, and it was just a really, really fun time. So I would highly recommend that. My wife liked it so much, she wanted to buy the drink mixing thing for the house. So we now own that. Go figure. It was just they did a good job. The other thing we liked was the tour at where was it? We did Woodford Reserve tour, and that was actually really good. You can get one of their like 1.75 liter bottles etched. So if you enjoy it and you want to keep like a souvenir bottle, you can have it etched with whatever name you want on it. We got a bottle from my in-laws who like Woodford Reserve with like greatest grandparents ever or something like that. That was a fun time. But we liked the Maker's Mark tour so much that we actually paid to have our names put on a bottle, and we bought the ambassadors package or whatever it is. So they're aging some bourbon right now, and when that age hits, we can travel back out there and actually bottle our own bottle from the same barrel that has our name on it.
That's cool.
So if you want to see it, I can go run to the other room and go see if I can find that.
Well, speaking of bottles, has anybody? I know I'm running a little bit late, but this is just that made me think. What the heck is going on with Jack Daniels and the candy and the Supreme Court? What the hell?
Never heard of it.
Have you not heard this case? I just heard this week.
Bring me up to speed.
Jack Daniels is suing a candy company who made this. Their candy looks like a Jack Daniels bottle, and it has some silly name that sounds like Jack Daniels, but it's not. I can't remember exactly what it is. They're suing them for breach of, I don't remember what exactly.
Trademark, it would have to be.
Trademark or something.
Trademark infringement.
Because and it's not that they use the name Jack Daniels or that even the label on the little candy looks like Jack Daniels. It's the shape of the bottle. Compared to the shape of the candy, which is shaped like a bottle that looks like a Jack Daniels bottle.
I can make anything that looks like Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hennessy cognac, same thing.
Hey, Will, you like mixed drinks? I got one for you. This is the perfect time for the hottest days in summer. Okay. You take some orange sherbet ice cream. You need a blender. Put some orange sherbet ice cream, a little bit of ice, a little bit of orange juice, and as much vodka as you like.
Ooh.
And just spin the hell out of it. You take that and you drink it under a nice shade tree in the hot summer.
Can you send me a link to that?
I don't have a link to it. It's one somebody told me, and I remembered it ever since, and it works great.
I'm going to try that.
That
It
sounds
gets
awesome.
nice and warm out here.
Okay. It's a dog toy. It's not even it's okay. I've got to show you this. This is Jack Daniels, and it's a dog toy called Bad Spaniels. And it's a chew toy that looks like a Jack Daniels bottle. This is hilarious. And it's gone all the way to the freaking Supreme Court. Look at this. That is hilarious. Old number 2. Oh my gosh. That is
no, we're paying for this.
Dog toy dispute. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that they're wasting their time on this. This is hilarious. I didn't realize it was a dog toy. That is so funny. I wonder if the dog toy.
Oh, wait, look at this. The company is concerned about the product's comparison to dog poop.
That's okay.
They should pat themselves in the back and just say,
I don't think I would have brought that up.
I don't think so. Oh my God.
Completely missed that, Dan. That was awesome. Oh God. Dog poop. Oh, that's even better than I thought it was. That's hilarious. Oh God.
And of course, it's coming out of the Ninth Circuit. So I mean, I'm glad this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, that is classic. That is awesome. Tennis on your Bad Spaniels, old number 2 on your Tennessee carpet. That's hilarious.
That's why.
Let me guess. I bet you this company is based in Kentucky.
They probably are.
Man, Lloyd, there's got to be an episode in here somewhere. You know,
there's a 10 Commandments in the News episode coming. Oh, it's the same size as a bottle. Oh my goodness. That's funny. That's even better than I thought it was. That's hilarious. Okay. Yeah. Let me run that one past Pastor Bennett. That should be a fun episode. Today we're talking about dog toys and poop. All right.
Does that one go under thou shalt not covet?
I don't know where that fits, but we'll find somewhere. That's hilarious. Okay. Pastor Bennett couldn't be with us tonight. He's not feeling well. He texted me earlier and said that he's not preaching this weekend because they have some sort of an event at the church. I don't remember exactly what, but so he said he picked the best week to get sick. So let's keep him.
Lent this, on Wednesdays. So
right, but at least hopefully he'll be feeling better before all the Holy Week stuff kicks off, and he's really running around like a crazy person Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday. All right, so I think that'll do it for tonight. I think that'll wrap it up. Yes, sir.
Got a question.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you need to answer it now unless you have something off the top of your head. Anybody here? But
Okay.
I have a lower that I can build into a pistol, AR-15 I'm talking here, and I really would like to build it into a pistol. So if you guys can, between now and the next time we get together, be thinking about, or if you find a link and can save it and send it over, I'd love to have some really good ideas. I know Palmetto State Armory, PSA, has some good deals from time to time.
They do.
Just north of me, about 45 minutes, is the Lac Rain Ordnance Facility. So I may go up there one of these days and see what I can find. But it's a fully built lower. I just need an upper, and I really would like it to be a pistol.
Is it caliber specific, or what are you looking for?
Is
it 5.56?
Right now it's not 5.56, 223.
Okay.
Likely, it's just a mil spec lower.
Right.
But it's not rifle specific, which is why I'm thinking I'd like to go pistol.
Okay. Just
Sure, I
don't
can get a
put
brace for it.
Just don't put a brace on it yet. Wait till
It's
that
got
whole
nothing on it right now.
Yeah.
So it's got a buffer tube. That is it.
Yeah.
So
till that whole stupid mess gets straightened out. Yeah.
Well, with Bruin, there's only one way it can go. I mean, rationally, but time will tell because we live in irrational times. But if you guys can find something or think of something that might be a good build for it, just for the top end, preferably something built out. I have not done this before. I only own one other system, and so let's just say, don't ask me to put a bolt carrier group in it because I probably wouldn't do it right.
The nice thing about Palmetto would be that you could get a complete upper with the bolt carrier group.
Often, yes.
Yes, delivered to your house. So
yeah,
that would, I've bought from Palmetto before and was really impressed with what they did. So that would be my vote. Black Rain, I'm not as familiar with, but I know the name, and don't know that I've ever.
They're just local to me, so
they're local.
It's the next state over, but it's within an easy drive.
Yeah, I'm one more for the Palmetto because it's easy and they work. And the only thing I had to do to the upper that I bought when I built my pistol is I took it apart and just Loctited everything down.
Yeah,
and that was it.
That I can do.
Yeah, I had a pistol build that I did, and by build I mean I just bought a lower and an upper separately and slapped them together. That's as much as building as I do. So, but my experience with Palmetto was super fast shipping, customer service was great, and the parts just worked.
Awesome.
Had no problems with them. So
well, this wasn't something I was intending to ask, but anyone tried the PSA dagger? Because
I'm planning to get one.
I'm thinking about getting one as kind of a backup stash away kind of thing.
Yep, exactly. I'm going to get one. I'm going to test the hell out of it, and if it all goes well, I'm going to stash those things all over the house.
Scott, I want to hear your thoughts on it, your recommendation, your review. Yeah, if you record that, bring the link.
Yep.
Those are what's the ballpark on those nowadays? I can't. I haven't.
$300 you can get into them for basically a Gen 3 Glock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be more comfortable. I haven't held one yet, so I don't know.
Just trying to think who I've seen has done some videos on it. Look at Bob Main's Handgun World stuff.
I know the Concealed Taco dudes have talked about it.
I know Bob has got one, and I think probably Such has probably done at least one video, if not more than one video on the dagger. So check those out. But yeah, I mean, Glocks just work, and you get a more comfortable grip and a few more features in the slide, so it doesn't quite look like the brick that the Glock normally does. And hey, for $300, $200 less than a name brand Glock.
Yeah,
definitely.
I've only heard good things about it, so I'm interested.
Yeah. Well, let me know what you do. Maybe we'll find out next time, and maybe you or Scott will have 5 or 10 of them stashed around the house by the time we get together next month. All right, guys. Thanks for all of your support, and thanks for hanging out. It's always fun, and
I enjoyed this.
Happy Easter to you, all of you guys, and Scott. Happy for you. Keep us up to date on what's going on with the store.
Will do.
If you do more videos, send us some links and we'll share them.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And Peter, safe travels back to St. Louis, and hope everything goes well with the sermon.
Thanks.
And what's the sermon on? Have you finished it, or are you sort of still outlining the whole thing?
So far it's just been outlining, like doing the research into like the actual text itself.
Gotcha.
The text is actually the Easter sermon for this year, so probably we'll never preach it, but we have to turn it in.
Well, very good. Okay. Well, congratulations to you and guys, it was great to see you. It's good to Stuart, glad the move went well, and it's good to see you again. David, good to see you as well. Dan, stay safe, and Curtis, don't just watch out for all those crazy people on the road. And Justin, enjoy all those beautiful guns that you get to fondle all the time. We're all so jealous.
Listen, Lloyd, when you visit the family in North Carolina, bring your stuff with you.
Absolutely, will do. I'll hit you up and we'll get together and hit the range.
Yeah.
Hello, gentlemen.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. We'll talk to you again.
Take care.
Happy Easter.
All right. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.